Hello, thank you for joining us on CoreTV News at 4. I am Frank Komalapen. Here are some of the reports we're filing at this hour. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the police authorities to cut down the number of policemen attached to dignitaries across the country. He also warned that he will not tolerate irregularities or restriction in the course of the proposed recruitment of police personnel. The president issued this warning during a meeting with officials of the Ministry of Police Affairs and the Police Service Commission and the Presidential Villa. Chairman of the commission, Mike Okiro, gave State House correspondent more insight into the meeting. And now the Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arashe, has ordered police personnel to desist from harassing any Nigerian who will willingly attend to a resident victim. He also wants members of the public, including medical personnel, to attend to such people and anyone with gunshots injuries before informing the police for necessary action. Police spokesman Emmanuel Ojukwu said in a statement that the Inspector General took that decision on the basis of constant neglect and the consequent death of accident victims in many parts of the country. He added that doctors are duty-bound to treat victims of gunshot wounds as well as supplied relevant facts to the police. And now President Muhammadu Buhari has charged the Federal Ministry of Health to sustain the current level of vigilance, especially in the fight against Ebola virus. The president gave the directive at a closed-door meeting with the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Health at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. Buhari also wants the health authorities to ensure that Nigerians get the best medical care with less stress.
A resilient health system that can respond to any situation of emergency. And we have been able to show that when there was an Ebola outbreak in this country. And so we are going on and on to strengthen this. And in this briefing, we have also cultivated government to witness the rate of achievement, looking at the issue of Ebola. Today, this is receiving international acclaim. And for that reason, Nigeria is now designated regional center for disease control. I can say that the condition for efficient healthcare delivery, the condition for mutual accountability for achieving results in the health sector has been developed.
And now President Muhammadu Buhari says he's ready to take anti-corruption battle to every phase of national life. He says is to ensure that all government business follow due process and devoid of any sharp practices. President Buhari made this known at the 15th National Productivity Day Award ceremony in Abuja. Our correspondent Pius Samuel reports that the president was represented by the permanent secretary in the Labour Ministry, Clement Ilo.
It's about 3 months since President Buhari assumed office, but he has not stopped talking about the damage corruption has done to the national economy. And speaking at Thursday's event, he maintained that until corruption is reduced, Nigeria may not attain its economic potentials. The president, who was represented at the occasion, is however convinced that the country can be put back on the right track.
The society at large has recognized that while inadequacy of resources is one of our challenges, mismanagement of the little we have largely through corrupt practices and impunity is the more impactful. To get to the promised land as a nation, we must have no stone unturned in taking the battle to the doorstep of corruption. Corruption is dangerous and cancerous to the nation, and this administration is not prepared to stay in bed with it. We are therefore resolute in our commitment to fight corruption in all its virulent forms in all facets of our national life.
It's the 15th National Productivity Day Award, and 11 individuals and 2 firms were honored. One after the other, they were bestowed with the National Productivity Order of Merit Award. Some of the awardees could not hold back their joy, but they see the award as a call for more service.
More commitment, more sacrifice. You know, sometimes when you are walking and hiding, you think nobody is seeing, but just giving the best. I think there is something better than best. Yeah, and I want to continue to dig in until everything that God has put in me is emptied for this, you know, for this generation and the next generations to come.
I see this award as a call to higher calling and higher input and higher productivity, even as has been mentioned. And so it's an encouragement for me to go all out there and to put, you know, the best of my best. You know, I see myself, you know, climbing the ladder, you know, higher and higher.
We are highly honored and excited, you know, to win this award this year. And we also would like to extend our thanks, you know, to Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari for personally, you know, signing, you know, the certificates of award. And that is a major commitment to productivity. And we, as a Nigerian group, we believe that what our country deserves to do now is to face production in all areas of our ramifications, you know, and try and move our economy, you know, from the oil and gas sector.
Many of the recipients of the award used the forum to call on Nigerian youths to be focused despite the challenges. This, they say, will position the individual to make a difference in the line of duty. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
And now the West African Examination Council says it is not considering the adoption of a computer-based mode text of examinations. Head of Nigerian National Office of the body, Charles Iguduridu, made the clarification at the interactive section with the journalists in Abuja. Iguduridu says it will amount to what he called intellectual dishonesty for him to say that the council will introduce CBT in the next 5 years or in the nearest future. Iguduridu stressed that the purpose of education is to prepare people for life, not to pass examinations, hence the need to examine different domains which CBT cannot be accommodated. He said the examination conducted by the council took into cognizance the 3 domains that measure the ability to recall, apply, and practicalize. You're watching CoreTV News at 4. We'll take a break now. We'll be back shortly with more stories. Stay with us.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I said to hell
On
with it.
Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
every weekday, we'll bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody have a right in Nigeria,
where you are the judge.
All our top stories can be found on our social media platforms, like the Facebook page is facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can also follow at CoreTV News NG. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV _space. Then news. Operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission have arrested a suspected serial fraudster, Dr. Kunle Adeshola, after issuing a forged draft to the tune of 3.29 billion naira in a phony land deal. EFCC said in a statement that the suspect, who presented himself as Director of Corporate and Management Service Amazon Incorporation, had allegedly entered a contract with an Abuja-based firm for the purchase of 50 units of flats in different locations within the FCT. He was said to have subsequently presented a Dutch bank draft in excess of $90 million drawn in favor of Infinity Trust Savings and Loans Limited. But the draft was returned unpaid after Stanbic IBTC discovered it was forged and reported the fraud to the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Apex Bank consequently reported the matter to the FCC, but on arresting the suspect, It discovered that he had earlier been arrested and prosecuted by the Commission for claiming to be an assistant commissioner of police seconded by the EFCC to investigate the Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation (NTDC). It said the suspect was charged to court in Abuja, but the judge struck out the charges on the grounds that they were not related to financial crimes. EFCC spokesperson Wilson Uwojari said the suspect will be charged to court as soon as investigation is conducted. And now the veteran journalist Bayo Atoyebi has described as garrison the current trend where journalists covering a particular beat form association which are referred to as press corps. Atoyebi, who was speaking at a capacity building workshop organized by the National University Commission NUC in Abuja for reporters covering the education sector, describes such action as capable of undermining the integrity of the profession. Speaking on the theme, the ethics, professionalism, and beat reportage, the former head of the Nigerian Press Council warned protectionists against.
And for one reporter, and therefore, like we said, where assignments happen simultaneously, you need cooperation to be able to work on that. To enhance their effectiveness, beat reporters should have a press room. Mind my word, should have or ought to have. I'm not saying they must have. If the organization you have been sent to cannot afford to give you a press room, too bad, you have to do your work. In fact, I reacted very sadly when, again, at the Lagos airport, the aviation people were kind to give a room for journalists to use as their base.
And our former National Deputy Chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Bade George, has asked President Muhammadu Buhari to take his anti-corruption war to the next level by probing the last two governors of Lagos State, Bola Tinubu and Babatunde Fashola. Just said in a statement that it will be wrong of Buhari to claim to be spearheading an anti-graft campaign and at the same time be considering Fashola for appointment in the light of the 78.3 million naira of taxpayers' money Fashola spent on a website which should be rejected. It said Fashola shows no remorse, no semblance of regret, no guilty conscience. Instead, he attempts to ride a high horse, puffing and stopping in feigned seraphic innocence. George said many of the projects undertaken by the Fashola were done at exorbitant prices. He added that the spurious 1.5 billion are allegedly spent on phantom pedestrian bridges is a con game. George said Fashola should be facing comprehensive investigation rather than being considered for any appointment in the light of the over 419 billion debts incurred by Fashola government. And now Matthew Asupo is seeking justice for his son Emmanuel Matthew, who was allegedly set ablaze by a neighbor over a domestic dispute. Asupo claimed that one Jane Osasa doused his only son Emmanuel with petrol and set him ablaze at the residence number 13, Alafo Street, Ayetoro, Ajigule in Olodia, Papa, Lagos State. A father of the 20-year-old Emmanuel stormed CoreTV studios earlier on Thursday to call Nigerians to seek justice for his late son. Emmanuel was an undergraduate student of the University of Uyo who died on Saturday, 15th August, from the injuries sustained from the burnt of bodies.
I think what really happened was on the 20th of March this year. My wife had a little mere argument with the wife of the son of the landlord, who now says the landlady. They had a little mere arguments of changing the key without informing the tenants. While they were still talking, my wife was trying to report to his brother. She now ran and entered the kitchen. Before we know it, he just stabbed my wife at the forehead. That was the beginning of the crisis. Stabbed my wife at the forehead. That was the beginning of the forehead. And My wife was taken to the hospital and later reported to the police. We got to police and invited her and the husband. They came, and everybody expected that the husband would have said, sorry, oh, my wife maybe didn't know what, or it was anger, whatever. The husband said, is the landlord, whatever I like, I can do. And so the police in charge said, well, since this man don't have atom of, I'm sorry, what do you want to do? I said, you charge the matter to court. That was when we went to court. We went to court, and because they have money, they have influence. Went to court, they went and bought the judgment. The matter we reported since on March up till now is in the court. He has killed that case. Now he saw this guy standing, he knew he was waiting for me because already since he had that conflict with my wife and me, he knew the girl came to see me. He just held the girl. He said, these Calabar people, they don't want to come up for this compound. I have never been served with a quick notice. He just hugged this girl, and then before we know, he stabbed the girl on the forehead and stabbed it here. And we reported they give me a police officer, 2 police officers to arrest her. We got there. Maybe she cited the police, and then when he knew that it was not a familiar face, she disappeared. She just ran away. The police officer left a note, and then we came back to Papa. It was at that point that a senior officer gave me a note to whoever is on duty in Joromi police station. And I took that note that same night, that same day, went to Joromi, but that girl bleeding was still bleeding, the whole face has swelled up. We got to Joromi police station. They did not do anything.
You're still watching the CoreTV News at 4. We'll take another break now. We'll be back in sports and stories outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
And outside Nigeria now, Thailand police have cleared 2 men identified as suspects in the Bangkok bombing. The pair were filmed by security cameras standing near the prime suspect in Monday's blast at the Erawan shrine, which killed about 20 people. A police spokesman said they were now satisfied the man, a Chinese tourist, and his Thai guide were not involved. The main suspect remains at large, but authorities say they believe he's still in Thailand. Dozens of people were injured in the explosion, with some losing limbs. According to the police, at least 10 people were suspected to be involved in the attack, and that their target were foreigners. And now North Korea has shelled a South Korean military unit on the western section of the inter-Korean border, a move retaliated by the South military, according to the South Defense Ministry. The Defense Ministry says that South Korean military detected a projectile from the north, which presumes to be a rocket, into the South Yeocheon area. Ministry also confirms that the South Korean military fired tens of 155mm artillery rounds to the origin point of the North Korean projectile after the incident. The official Yonhap news agency says that Seoul will hold a National Security Council session over the shelling. According to officials, the projectile targeted a propaganda loudspeaker at the border and was detected at 3:52 local time. On August 4, 2 South Korean soldiers were seriously injured in a landmine explosion in the southern part of the demilitarized zone, causing them to lose names. In a contrast to what is obtainable in the country, first Saudi Arabia's women registered to vote municipal elections for the first in the country's history. The December polls will since 2011's decision by late Saudi King Abdullah bin Abdulaziz Al Saud to grant women to vote and run for office. Voter registration starts August 22, but started a week earlier in Mecca and Medina. Registration of candidates for the election will begin on August 30th. The Municipal Council's limited responsibilities included approving annual budget. And in sports now, Super Eagles on Thursday held its first media parley at the team's camp in Abuja, where Coach Sunday Olise cleared the air on the invited foreign-based professionals. He explained that the omission of some known names was not deliberate, given the circumstances. The technical team, led by Olise and 4 of the home-based players, were also on hand to answer other questions from journalists. Correspondent Basi Aye has all the details.
It was the first interaction between the team and the media since the chief coach was unveiled as Stephen Keshi's replacement. So it was not a surprise that one of the first questions thrown at Olise was on the 18-man list of foreign-based players invited to camp. Many present at the media interactive session were keen to know the reason why some regular members of the team were left out. The coach had this to say.
I contacted Obi Mikel, called him up on four times. The phone kept on ringing, nobody picked it up. Sent him an SMS, I got no response. Called Victor Moses up, the phone rang three rings, he picked it up. I spoke with him, told him concentrate on your game, and after the game we'll meet. And after the game he came to my hotel, we spoke, and I made him understand that my priority is building a new team. Everybody's starting from zero, and I needed to see players playing.
Then the questions moved to the level of preparedness of the players for the remaining qualifying matches.
Tuesday when we came out and the boys started training, I was like, this is good. But we are coming, we're starting from zero. Because in the past 1 year, when we've looked at our Nigerian games, trying to look at players for position, it's always been changing.
When you want to build a solid future, you also need experience for people to understudy. Carl is doing well. At this point in time, we need people that are doing well so that we can also have the result that we are all looking for. In as much as we want young goalkeepers to come in, you also need to tap from the weight of experience that those goalkeepers have, okay?
The players also had a chance to have their say.
The way we are trained, the way for the game and focus on the game. At the time, I don't afraid for anybody who's coming from Europe or somewhere, because I believe myself I can do it and have a talent to play the football and the game.
As for me and my colleagues, they are just coming up, and I pray, me and him continue to, do our best, because Nigeria, they are always, in need of the best of the players.
The right fullback position for the Nigerian national team depends on the coach. I've been saying that for a very long time, so it's left for the coach to choose who is going to play the right fullback position.
Nigeria takes on Tanzania on September 5 in continuation of the 2017 AFCON qualifier. Basia, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Well, definitely gearing up there for future challenges. And that's a wrap on CoreTV News at 4. Thank you for watching. I am Frank Omalape. Bye for now.